Hey everyone, thanks for joining. This week I'm going to be making a cold process soap with tea. I am going to be using some tea I just bought at the store. It is the chamomile blended herbal tea. You can use any tea that you like for this recipe. I would recommend just making the tea as it's directed on the package. However, just go ahead and get all of my water really hot and boiling, and I use a couple of the tea bags and kind of set them in there and make sure that the tea is, fully formed for whatever the package says, 3 to 5 minutes. And you can see the lovely colors and everything of the herbs in these packets. I'm really excited to be incorporating this into my soap. So you may be asking yourself why I'm using tea. Some teas have caffeine in it, and it is really good for your skin. It also can, help treat, if you have itchy skin, and it's got a lot of anti-inflammatory and antioxidants in the soap. So that's part of the reason why I'm using tea. And when you're done making the tea, you just want to make sure that your water portion measures out to the 11.2 ounces. And when I make soap, especially when I'm doing a lye water replacement, I always like to freeze the lye water solution, or just the water solution, before I add it to the lye. So I go ahead and pour it into a mold and put it on a tray and then pop it in the freezer for a few hours. Or, sometimes I come back to it the next day. It's just all whatever you have time for. Now, while that was cooling down, I went ahead and I started using some of the melt and pour soap that I had, and I started making some little flowers to kind of mimic what I saw on the box. The fragrance oil that I'm using also is like a blueberry scent as well. So I'm using this blue colorant from Nurture Soap and the little ball mold to add little like blueberry embellishments on the top. So it'll be flowers and blueberries on top. While my melt and pour embeds are setting up, I go ahead and I go back to actually making my soap. This is where I start taking the ice cubes out of the freezer and go ahead and adding the lye to the cubes. I'm also going to start measuring out some of my oils at this time because it does take a while to fully incorporate or melt down the ice cubes when you're using the lye and the ice cubes like this. One thing I also want to say that is if you are mixing with ice cubes and you have like a darker colored water solution, you do want to make sure you mix a couple minutes longer than you think is necessary, just to make sure you're getting all the clumps in the lye fully incorporated into your soap. I usually go about 3 to 5 minutes. I just keep coming back and stirring and making sure everything's there. Of course, you can also always use a strainer when you dump the oils into your pot or whatever you're going to mix in, just so that you're not getting any large chunks of clumps of lye in your soap. Now once everything was fully mixed together, I had all the oils melted down and the lye water solution came to a room temperature. I went ahead and mixed. If you are using a thermometer, I would recommend always soaping at or under 110. It seems to be a pretty good temperature for most recipes. Just to make sure everything's getting fully incorporated. I also added a scoop of kaolin clay, and this is the fragrance oil that I'm using from Brambleberry because I didn't get a good shot of it on camera. It was kind of quick, but I just mixed it in. This fragrance oil is fruity. You do smell the blueberry. As it started to cure, some of the lavender and the tea smell kind of came through. It wasn't my favorite fragrance oil, honestly, because it just wasn't like strong enough, or, you know, maybe next time I use it, I'll use more fragrance oil. But I seem to think that was the appropriate amount just on my calculations of what to use. And I'm just doing a basic drop swirl for the design of the actual soap itself. I wish I would have saved more of that purple to kind of put it on the top, because it would have made the flowers, when I show them being put on here, pop out just a little bit better, because with the soda ash and everything, they started to kind of blend in. So I just went ahead and I cut down those little flowers, and I kind of made sure that they would be sort of staggered, so each bar would either have like a flower or two and a blueberry embed on top. Overall, this soap came out pretty awesome. I was amazed with the overall design and everything, and I think I will keep this as something that I make quite frequently, depending on how popular it is and how many people, you know, purchase it. So we'll see how that goes. I just want to thank you guys all for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments on how this soap was made, or you want to see something else, just let me know down in the comments, and you know, we'll get to it as soon as we can. Thank you guys.